रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है नहीं मेरे। So hi guys, Hitesh here. Thank you for all taking out your time and joining this webinar. So this webinar's topic is about how can you stay productive as an individual using some of the SaaS products and the app. So like a lot of the problems that normally a student or a young adult faces is mostly they are disorganized or like they have a lot of tasks to complete. And second problem is either they are eating unhealthy stuff and they get really tired by the end of the day really fast. And the third problem they face is that they are unable to manage their expenses and whatever pocket money they receive. So let's look at them one by one and what are their solutions just by using some of the SaaS products and some applications. So disorganization leads to often a lot of stress, and you are often unable to complete a particular task on like you always also exceed the deadline. So let's see that using these products you can complete the task as per deadline, and you're not completing too many tasks or too little tasks in a particular day. So the solution is there's a SaaS product called To-Do List, which is an organizing and a planning tool. So basically, it helps to add multiple tasks anytime and anywhere at one click of button from your phone or the web. So that means you can use this application from your phone also and from your desktop also. So you can add as many tasks as you want, and you can also put the deadline. You can like put a day or a time to your task so that so on the next day there is an option of today all the tasks you have to complete today, all the tasks you have to complete tomorrow. Then as you complete each task, you have to put a tick mark. You keep putting tick mark, and gives you a sense of achievement. Like as you complete, say for example, if you have given 10 tasks in a particular in your today's list, so as you keep completing them one by one, it will be an achievement for you. So by default, to-do list has 5 tasks which needs to be completed in a particular day. So even if you exceed it, so that's even better. Then in to-do list, it often tells you to give deadline to your task so that you don't procrastinate and everything is completed on time. And also you can give priority to your task by its colors. You can give it color, or you can set ranking as per the task. Then so one of the more tips which I would like to give you is that so you can also put blog links, like you can put any kind of links from your web browser. So as you can see, like I've given an example, putting a reminder to read a blog post. So this is one of my website. This is my website, My Life Pixel, and I have published articles about social media. So if someone wants to read my article, but he's not getting time today, and if he wants to read it tomorrow, so he can basically put that link first, and then in the brackets, like give a space, and in the brackets put some text regarding that article, whether he wants to read the article, whether he wants to analyze the article, and then close the brackets. So when you do that, I've given an example how it will look like. So it will not look like really clumsy. So it will just show you the text on what you have to act on the article. And the underline means that it is a link. Then you can also add a Gmail link to it, or it's not necessary. It can be any link. It can be a blog link, website link, any sort of link on the web browser, any URL. Then you can also directly, so at times you receive a lot of tasks while work also. So there is a list of tasks. So for example, make coffee, do stretches. So like on WhatsApp only, you keep making a list of tasks. So now this part can only be used in just the desktop version, because they haven't been modified or updated in the phone version. So when you copy this whole task list and then click add button, and then you directly copy it into that, just copy paste it. So it will ask you, do you want to add it as a separate 6 task? So in this way, you don't have to keep typing each individual task. And this list, you can make it on your notepad, Word, WhatsApp conversation, anywhere or any software which is there on your desktop for chatting. So, and then one of the key tips when you are adding a task, I would like to give you is that use action verbs. Like, so you know what action you have to take on that task. So for example, call, say someone X, or follow up on someone, or write an article, or write a text to someone, or you have to create something for someone, or maybe for yourself, or you have to buy some grocery, or do some work. So similarly, if you add an action verb to the first part of your sentence, so it will help you to ask what action do you have to take. Otherwise, if you just write say any of your friends name, and say you have to meet, by the end it doesn't make sense. Like, you will be confused, you have to call him first, or what. So it's better to always add an action verb. So let's come to the second problem. So our second problem is our eating habits. Like, at times we eat a lot of junk outside. Like, we don't eat the right proportion of food, or either we eat a lot of junk, fats. So at times it causes laziness, tiredness, and we get ill really fast. So let's solve that problem with some of the products, or with our application. So I hope everyone has heard about MyFitnessPal. So it helps you to track your meals and stay healthy. So basically, you add your meals, whatever meal you have, in that MyFitnessPal as per the proportion. So keeping a food diary helps you to understand your habits and increases your likelihood of hitting your goals. So if you put all whatever meals you are having throughout the day, if you put it in the MyFitnessPal, it will tell you how much micronutrients, macronutrients that each meal has, and whether it's giving you sufficient amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and you don't even exceed the calories as much you should eat throughout the day. Because if you eat more from what calories you should eat, it will often lead to increasing your weight, and if you eat less, it can often lead to weakness. So you should have a balanced diet. Now, the best part about the MyFitnessPal is that it covers almost 80 million food items. So like, whether it's our Indian dal, roti, rice, or any food item from any country, it's normally there. And if you are purchasing any sort of quick to make meals, you can just scan their barcodes, and it will automatically add it calories and macro and micronutrients. Then it also has a community. So in the community, there are 140 million people, which gives their tips, advice. They always also show their achievements. So in this way, you are also motivated, seeing that a lot of other people are also doing things. They are in the same journey as you, and they also have a 24/7 support system where you can ask your queries about the application. So in this way, you're not really stuck with anything. So some of the practical implications and tips on using MyFitnessPal, which I would like to give you, is to start with the making of tracking your meal. You can start with tracking one meal of your day regularly. So initially, if you don't want to track all your 3 meals, and you often don't have a habit of tracking also, and you feel really bored by just putting meals every day. So you can just start with one meal to initially start with the habit, like just put breakfast for the next 7 days. Then the second thing which I would recommend you is buy a scale. So you can measure how much you are eating, like 100 grams of rice, 200 grams of rice. So if you track your proportion, it's easy to put in the MyFitnessPal, your food diary, on how much you're eating. Then don't connect any fitness band or application with this application, as it is often does not lead to accurate results. So at times we connect it to Fitbit or any new fitness band which are coming in the market. So it at times, gives you that calories you have burned and everything, but it's often a misleading results. Like some of the, because MyFitnessPal is not so connected with these applications which are keep upgrading, and it doesn't give you accurate tracking of these things. If you choose a food from a database, then it should have a green check mark and check its ingredient also. So whenever, if you are, it's always, so if you are adding a food, you should make sure that whatever food you are adding, it should match with all the ingredients which are there in your food. And often the green check mark is being often approved by MyFitnessPal, and it's the basic food item which is actually there. So it's like you can always go for a green tick mark. Otherwise, without the green tick marks, it's already made by some other users. So it's often not right. Or maybe they have put some other ingredients or more or less, which is not as per ingredients which you have put in your dish. Now, often at times we go for outside social occasions. So at that time, you can't really want to take out your phone and, start putting that application on the meal. So at that point of time, you can just click a photo, or you can just send a text to any one of your, or you have any family group or anything like that. So you can just do like you hate this much serving, just put a text. So it looks like a normal text conversation that you're sending it to someone rather than putting each entry. So, don't feel embarrassed also that you're tracking at that point of time. And the next day morning, if you're having a dinner, so next morning you know what you ate, and then you can put that same entry in your MyFitnessPal. So in this way, you're not even losing your tracking. Now let's look at the third problem, that we often fail to manage our pockets money. Like either we spend a lot or either we spend really less, but it doesn't happen that you spend less, right? Like whenever you go out, you spend like normally 500,000, like that only. Like you don't know how much you spend. Like your mom gives you 2,000 and you just blow it out even on one day. So the possible applications and the SaaS product you can use. So Good Budget is a SaaS product. So where if you're living alone, or maybe even if you're planning to go abroad, so Good Budget will help you to plan your budget. So allocation of rent, like how much rent, like say for example $300, $400, or if it's in Indian currency, like if you're planning to study in India, so rent can be normally 15,000, 10,000. So you can already plan it. Then you can put food, electricity, transport, grocery. So similarly, how much money you have to spend, how much money you have to save, and your whole income doesn't get utilized what you are receiving at the start of the month. So like you have enough savings also, yeah, your enough expenditure is also being covered, and your social occasions, everything, you can put that money also separately. So basically in Good Budget, it basically prepares an envelope for each of your money. So for example, grocery 400. So as you keep like taking out money from it, you keep putting entry of it. Like for example, one day you spend 200 rupees on just buying grocery. So you can put it in that envelope, you spend 200. It will show you an option of expense. So similarly, it will keep deducting money from that envelope, and you will know that that much money you have spent throughout the day just on grocery. Similarly for other, like rent is normally fixed, food, electricity, transport, then other social occasions. So similarly, you can create multiple envelopes for it as you feel. And then maybe you are having an annual savings account. So like a fixed deposit, for that also they have kept in annually, quarterly, monthly. So as per savings or expenditure. So this application, you can use it as a website also, like while you're working at home and then you suddenly remember, oh, I have to put that entry. So you can use it, open a new web browser and you can quickly put that. And even if you're on your phone driving anywhere, you can just take out your phone and just put the entry. So it's like it's both ways. Then one more thing, if you can do is like put, if you don't want to maintain a really envelope and start with something really small, like just tracking your daily expenses, then there is something called a money manager application. It doesn't have a web, it's just an application. So you just have to track all your expenses over there, all your incomes you get. So for example, in a week you spend like 1,000. So in the start of the week, you can just put 1,000 at the date, whatever date it is. So like let's take it first. And then as you keep spending it, you keep deducting it from your this. You keep putting, like you keep entering the amount. Like whether it's even if it's 10 rupees, you're buying a packet or any food packet or any drink, or whether it's 100 rupee item, buying fruits or any vegetables or any sort of outside food. So in this way, you are just coming to know how much your income, how much your income is, and how much you're spending expense on it. So that's it, guys. So I hope we have solved the problems, all your 3 problems. If are there any questions?
It was very impressing how straightforward it was. So I do not have any questions at the moment.
Anyone, any questions?
I do have a question. When you were talking about managing finances and you suggested creating a journal where you record your expenses each and every day, um, the platform that you were using, is that going to stop me from spending more? Like, can I put a criteria for myself for the month that I have, which like separates my savings, like my expenditure, to like from the rent and electricity and water and all that stuff? Like, will the platform stop me from spending more, or tell me that you're running low, like you might want to calm down?
See the first application, the good budget one, will tell you normally you will decide a budget prior only. So in that way, as you keep spending it, and you're basically taking out money from the envelope. So as you keep taking out money until it goes zero, and when you start, like basically spending more, then it will keep going in negative. But in the second application, Money Manager, it will tell you how much you are spending. So by 1 month, so if you start at say October 1st or November 1st, just from today, and you keep putting whatever expenses you are making like throughout, because you carry normally your phone everywhere, right? Like even if you're buying something, you can just put directly your entry. Then you will come to know how much you're actually spending. And then even if in between you're taking money from your, like let's say, parents, or they're just putting it in your bank account or giving you any cash in any form of payments, like in any income you're receiving, so you can directly put there that this much income you receive and this much expense you got, like you spent. So in this way, you will come to know, okay, this is my expenses and on these things. So you can also put details like on what things you had put, and then you can also put tags also in that application. So you will come to know under which category you are spending or not. So in this way, like at the end of the month, you will know that on these things you have to spend less, these things you have to spend more. Anyone, anything else?
As I said, it was a very straightforward presentation. Don't be disheartened that nobody's asking anything.
So thank you guys. Thank you for being till this time. Like I guess I've solved all your doubts, and I hope you will
That
start
was very good.
solving these 3 problems using these 3 products in just like fitness, tracking your money, and definitely staying planned. Thank you guys. See you
Definitely.
for the next
Thank
time.
you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Hitesh.